my name is Paula and this is the Stitched by Mrs. D podcast video, whatever you'd like to call it. It's all about knitting, crochet. There is some sewing, but it's just stuff that I've made for my shop. So if you don't want to hear about that, I'll save that till the end. But I will say I've got a shop update coming up. I've had to write it down. I never know what the date is. On Thursday, the 22nd of June at 6 p.m. And there's lots of liberty. But I'll show you that at the end if you're interested. Hello, everyone, again. I was poorly last time I came to see you. I ended up having to take antibiotics. I had a chest infection and sinusitis. I couldn't taste or smell anything for over 2 weeks. Yeah, and it turned nasty. I think, when did I see you? I think it was a Saturday, and then I think, it doesn't really matter, does it? But I think on the Wednesday I went to the doctors and got the antibiotics and had them for a week, and now I'm better, which is good. James had the flu. He's better as well. So we're all fighting fit in our house. I've decided that I'm going to have a go at doing one of these videos weekly, because I think I'd rather do them, we'll try and make them more regular, but maybe a bit shorter. Because when I do the longer ones, I feel like I'm rushing through everything, and I've usually left it about a month before I've come to see you again. And I have so much stuff that I feel like I'm rushing through. So maybe I'll be able to have a bit more of a chat, but we'll see how we get on. Let's see what rolls around. What is today? Next Tuesday. Right, so sheet day and video day is going to be a Tuesday. Now I've got Ian's bell here. It's his birthday. Ian's my cat, by the way, if you haven't watched before. He is 1 on Saturday, and he's grown into the most beautiful big boy. And if you don't know this, he's trained to ring a bell, but also to come when I ring the bell. I've got it here. This is his little bell. It's a special one that cats can press. So if I ring it, he should turn up. Unless he's gone down the garden. But it is a wet day today, so here he is. Here he is. Come on over. So this is my Ian, if you've never met him before. I will give you a treat because you're such a clever boy. Oh, well, you don't want to look at that bit. Look at his face. No, turn around, Ian. He is 1 on Saturday. Oh, he's just so lovely. He's the most smiley cat. Oh, he's found his bell. He might ring it this time. He's the most smiley. I've got my hands here so you can see it's not me. He's the most smiley cat I've ever had. He's just lovely. Like, he really smiles. Look, there he goes. He smiles at James in the morning when he puts the light on in the kitchen. So I just wanted to, that's it, good boy. I just wanted to see how big and beautiful he's got, because he was a kitten, weren't you? I've had him from a kitten. I got him at the end of August last year. I saw a picture of him. Oh, ambulance, Ian. I saw a picture of him and I couldn't resist him, and I went and got him behind James's back. He took the kids paddleboarding, and when he got back, there was a kitten. These are his favourites. He only has one a day though. It's a fish wrapped in chicken. But it takes a lot of getting into, so he usually takes it away with him. So that's Ian. So Ian is very nearly 1. I've got quite a few animals. I'll tell you about them all as we go through. I have to hide this up because he'll come back and ring that again. What else can I tell you about? I've just had a funny message from one of my friends. She said, when did your daughter turn into such a beautiful young lady? I'm stood next to her at the moment in Costa. And I thought, Costa? Meg's supposed to be in the library today making up the 60 hours of study that she hasn't done yet. She's done her course, but I think you have to do a certain amount of hours of study to go with this course, because it's not, you don't have to go in every day with college. You're supposed to do some self-directed stuff as well. So she's got 60 hours to make up. But she's in Costa, apparently, which I find quite funny. And I'll say to her later, oh, hello, Meg, what have you been up to? Doug's out there. He's turned into, Doug is a tabby cat. He is 14. He has, in the summer, he turns into a bit of a skank, I have to say. He hardly, well, I do see him. I've had to put a sign outside saying, please don't worry about the tabby cat. He's just an old man and he's got a very happy home and he can get in whenever he wants, or something along those lines. And I've put it on the wall and people keep stopping to read it and then they look for him. And he went through a phase of, to start with, he sat underneath the sign and then he started to sleep on top of it. But he's there. I haven't got it out at the minute because it's a bit rainy today, which is nice. It's been quite warm here. And do you know what? Usually I've a right old moan about when it gets too hot, because I can't bear being too hot in bed. But this year I've decided to embrace it and pretend I'm on holiday. So I've been taking my hand sewing outside and sitting under the tree. James has bought me a new chair and I sit under the tree reading my book and hand sewing. It's very nice and I'm just going to make the most of it. It's very nice. So today I'll be doing a lot of machine sewing because it's rainy, but I do love rainy days. Rainy days are my favourite. Right, I'm going to get on and show you some knitting. I've got a few things finished, but I'm not going to show you everything today. I'm just going to show you a few things, and you'll never guess what. Pauline's down here. She's going to come and see you all. Right, so I have finished. Ah, so sweet. A baby cardigan that I was knitting for my friend who's just had a baby boy, and I should have asked permission whether I can say what is. No, I haven't done it though. So this is just for my friend who's had a baby boy. I've got 2 cardigans to send off now, so I'll show you them. I'll show you the one I've already done first, just in case you haven't seen it. Oh, it's so sweet. This is called the Velvet Acorn Cardigan. I'm going to have to refer to my notes. And it is by Lilia Vanini. And she's got lots of lovely baby and children's patterns if you are in the market for one. My favourite thing about this are these lovely raglan increases. Yeah, because it was top down. Was it? Yeah, top down. Both of them were. Got these lovely cables, which I love doing. I love doing cables. And I've left the buttons for Mummy to stitch on. This one is made out of Drops Baby Merino and the colour is light turquoise. It's nice, isn't it? I think it's a lovely colour. I just love these. Nice, aren't they, these decreases? The next cardigan has got them as well. And this size is size 3 to 6 months. So I better get a shifty on because this little baby, he's getting lovely and big. But he won't need this for a few days, will he? So that's the first one that I made, but I have shown you that before. Now the next one is called the Biscotti pattern, and again it's by the same designer, who is Lilia Vanini. And both of these cardigans are made in the same size needle all the way through. You don't have to change to do the rib or anything like that. I always knit sleeves with DPNs as well. think it was a 3.25 needle. So this is the pattern on this one. It's all blocked. I blocked it the other day in the sunshine. Oh, we've got a little bit of fluff here, everybody. That's gone. And again, I've left the buttons for Mummy to stitch on. It's a nice pattern, isn't it? Lots of lovely cables. I've got a cable cardigan on the go, haven't I? But I'm not showing you that today. We'll see if I do anything next time. Don't hold your breath though. These lovely decreases again. And it's the same wool. It's Drops Baby Merino and the colour is light grey. So these are done now. I did have some buttons picked out, but I've decided I don't want those ones anymore. So I'm going to go to the shop and buy some different ones. I think I'd quite like some bunny ones on this one because it's grey. I don't know if the baby likes bunnies. I'll have to ask his mummy. I think he likes cats, so maybe I'll well, we'll see. But they're going, so you won't see these again because as soon as I've got those buttons, they're off. Oh, but they're so sweet, aren't they? I've got a picture of Lizzie coming out of hospital in a hand knit cardigan. Look, isn't it lovely? Ah, beautiful. So they'll be going off. I think I've told you. I'll just refer to my notes to make sure I've told you everything about it. I have. Right. Speaking of babies, shall we have a look at Pauline? Now, if you are of a nervous disposition, look away. Pauline is a doll. She's kicking me. A young lady who I bought from eBay. I don't know if it was last year. It might have been the year before, with the intention of restoring her. But I haven't done it, and I'm not going to because I think you shouldn't try and... She's very happy in her skin, but some people are a little bit wary of her. So if you don't like old dolls, don't watch. Hello everyone. So this is Pauline. I'm going to make her some clothes, but I've been saying that for how long now, Pauline? 6 years. We haven't even lived here for 6 years. So there you go. She's got one arm up there, one down there. But okay, I've got these weights down here on the floor. I haven't got weights on the floor down here. They're James's. And they're black and silver. And I keep thinking it's Ian. So this is Pauline. Now, I'm going to make you a dress, Pauline. And maybe some knickers. So people have been asking about her, and as you can see, she is very safe and well. It's a creepy wave, Pauline. Oh, I better stop doing that, because if people skip ahead and see that, they'll wonder whatever's going on. Now, one thing I did find out about Pauline, and I think you might have been here with me when I did this, she had a voice box. Oh, she made a horrible noise. So there you go, everybody. For the people who are wondering how she is, she's all right, but she's still in the same condition as before. Cool. Imagine if that was the thumbnail. I wouldn't get very many views, would I? Not because of your face, because of mine, Pauline. Do you want a close-up? She appears to have a bit of nail varnish down here. She's got one quite large eye, one small one. You're a bit heavy on the old makeup, Pauline, on that side. Oi, don't be so rude. Yeah. And she did have quite bushy hair, but I cut that off. Why did you do that? Well, I think it does look better shorter. Shorter hair does suit you. So I'm going to try and make you a dress, all right? Yeah. Again, don't hold your breath. But there's Pauline. Come on. You sit down there, Pauline, and stop kicking me. Just going to have a bit of my tea. I've got my Queen's Platinum Jubilee Celebration mug today. Did you watch Trooping the Colour the other day? Oh, I was worried about Charles in that big old hat. He did well, didn't he? I couldn't have stayed on that horse. Well, I couldn't have got on the horse, but to be on that horse for all that time in the heat with that big, well, they all did very well, didn't they? To stay on those horses in the sunshine with all those clothes on and that big hat, they all did very well. I couldn't have done it. But I do love all that sort of stuff. Did I tell you that I did tell you, didn't I, that I had some cornflowers and I pulled them all up. My neighbour, not the first neighbour but the next one along, he's a gardener, and I was talking to him the other day and I said, did you see I pulled up all those cornflowers? Because he's taken over the whole area. Because I share a car park with 3 people and he's just taken it over. To most people, you'd just think it looks normal. But if you'd have seen what it looked like before, it was like Extreme Makeover Driveway Edition. He's got rid of everything. Like the gravel is just pure. Like when I pull up the weeds and the plants, there's always green stuff left behind, but it's just gravel. And then he has weeded all around the wildflowers that I didn't pull up. And I said, did you see I pulled up all those cornflowers? And he said, yes, I did. I was absolutely mystified about why you did that. I had to tell him I thought they were weeds. I did. They just looked so wild. But never mind. What he's done is lovely. And I've told him I'm going to get him some more plants so that he can put them in. He knows what he's doing. He can do it. This is how bad I am at gardening. My other neighbours who live in the middle have gone away on holiday. They're supposed to be coming back today. Not that you care. And they left me with their keys. And they've got 2 little pots of plants on their windowsill. And I thought, oh, I'll go water their plants. They're plastic. Oh dear. I'll have to tell them when they come back. They might find it funny. They might not. Don't know. Right, what else we got to show you? Let's go back to the knitting, shall we? Done that. Well, I've only done one thing, haven't I? So I finished my Whitmore. But I think I want to make it longer. I would put this on to show you, but I'm too hot. I can't bear it. It's what my nan would call close, or close, if you don't talk with a Norfolk accent. Oh, that's close, she'd say. I went to see my dad on Father's Day, and she come round. Oh, my Sky is playing up again. She watches 3 programmes, she told me. Cash in the Attic, Bargain Hunt, and Escape to the Country. And she hasn't been able to watch them for 2 days. Of course, her Sky's messed up. So I went round and had a look at her Sky box, as did James. And she said, I'll just put it on. And she pressed like 1,000, well, it weren't 1,000, it was 3 buttons, 6 buttons to turn the telly on. She went 1, 2, 3, and then she typed in 101. And James was stood this side of me, and I could just feel his eyes going like that, because I don't think he'd ever seen anything like it before. Such a palaver to turn on a telly. But we couldn't get it going. She's got to get the aerial man round to have a look at her box. Yeah. then she said, that's all right, because Andy, who's my uncle, he's been round, he's left me a couple of books. I've got a little book like this, but he's bought me some big ones. And she showed me and James these 2 books, and they were called Saucy Postcards, and they were like cartoon postcards, like really rude. And she said she was going to spend a couple of hours having a look at those in the afternoon. Oh, there's some coming and goings outside today. Yeah, so she enjoyed her afternoon. I haven't heard whether the aerial man has been yet and whether she's up to date with Homes Under the Hammer. No, not Homes. Cash in the Attic, Escape to the Country and Bargain Hunt. That's all she watches. Anyway, right, here's the Whitmore. It's all done, but I want it a bit longer than that, I've decided. So there you go. Oh, hang on. I can't bear to put it on. Look, it goes green. No, we'll start from pink. No, we'll start from yellow. Yellow, white, yellow. Pink, lilac, green, lilac, pink. So it's a lovely pattern. It's by Amy Loudon, and it's the 3rd one that I've made. I've made a black cotton one, which has been stolen by Meg. I've made sort of an amethyst colour one, or magenta, whatever you want. I made that for Lizzie, and then this one is for me. I saw this baby wool and I just loved it, and I thought, well, I can have a jumper made out of baby wool. It's this. Oh dear, because I've been sat under a tree, everything has got these on it, these tiny little bits, because it's got like really fine blossom on it. What is it? It's a rowan tree, and it's dropping its little flowers on top of me. This is what I used. It's King Cole Beaches DK, and the colour is Beaches and Cream 4275, and it's lovely. It feels lovely, it looks lovely. It is lovely, and I'll give that to my neighbour because she's got a little granddaughter, so whenever I have any surplus I give it to her, and if she doesn't use it she'll give it to her mother-in-law. There was a thing the other day, now I'm thinking about it, on Facebook saying, has anyone got any spare wool? I am starting a knitting group for the elderly. Any donations gratefully received. Now I've got a lot of acrylic down the end, and I said, yeah, I've got a load you can have. And she said, oh, where can I pick it up from? And I said, I'm a bit poorly at the minute, but when I'm better I'll let you know. Where's this group? Do you need any helpers? Because I'd quite like to go and help with something like that, or join in. And I haven't heard from her again, so it makes me suspicious that she was after my wool. And she'd read it, because you can see, can't you? Seen, read. Yeah, so it's just not the right length for me. It needs to be a bit longer. So I'm going to find the middle and go through it with my circular needle. I'll pick up from a bit where maybe like the start of this pink, end of this pink here, so that I know that I need to join on with the purple, and I'll just make it longer. I'll tell you one thing about this wool. So it is supposed to be for babies, but look how big the pattern repeat is for the colours. So if you were to be making something like for a tiny baby or something like that, because these sleeves have got quite a lot of stitches in them, if you were making this for a tiny baby, you'd only get a little bit of that, and it wouldn't be matched up, would it? So you'd probably get the back in maybe the yellow and the white, and then the yellow again, and then a front in, it'd just be very, very mismatched. So I don't think I'd use this for babies, because if you look, when you've got lots of stitches, you get more stripes. But when this is fine on this, because this is nice and big. But I don't think that'd work out very well if you were making something for a really tiny baby. I think it'd make a lovely blanket though. Wouldn't it? Nice stripy one. A nice stripy bobbly blanket. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? But I don't know about like a jumper or a cardigan or something like that. I don't think that'd be any good. I haven't blocked this. Oh blimey, 25 minutes already. This is too long already. Never mind. Right, let's just keep going. I haven't blocked it and I don't think I'm going to. If I do, I'll do it with... Now, when I said I was going to do it with a hot iron, people got very, very worried. I don't mean I'm going to press it with a hot iron. I will dampen a tea towel, put it over the top and then use the steam from the iron and not touch it at all, because that will just turn to plastic. Well, it is plastic, won't it? But it'll all shrivel up. So I'll add some more to the bottom of this and I'll get back to you. But it's lovely. The pattern is lovely. The pattern is very, very clear to follow. Can't go wrong. And I made this in size small. Don't know if I just heard Ian. He meows if he can't see me sometimes. If you've been in a room with him and then you turn off the lights and leave, he will scream the house down. So that's that. Beautiful, just needs to be made a bit longer. But I'll wear this with jeans. It's always a bit awkward, isn't it, wearing a lacy jumper, like what to wear underneath. But I have got like a little camisole thing. So that's that. Don't hold your breath for that either, because I'm not in the mood for doing that next week. Right, so next I'm going to show you my blanket that I'm making. Oh, it's lovely. He read my sign the other day. It's become quite a talking point down the road. Meg said, because her bedroom looks directly down onto it, she said that someone took a picture of it the other day. That'll end up on some sort of a weirdo site on Facebook, won't it? Right, so this is my lovely Pixie yarn blanket. Pixie Yarns, or Sophie, is doing I think it's a quarterly club. Spring, summer, and I believe it will be autumn, and then winter, and then a Christmas one as well. So let me show you. This is the spring. Oh, it's so lovely, isn't it? Now, last time I didn't tell you, I'm using I'm using a 3mm hook, and the white stuff in between, it's not white, it's off-white, I think it's called. Well, it hasn't got a name on it, but it's colour 2, and it's drops baby merino. So that's what I'm using in between the coloured stripes. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that's the spring colour. Isn't it lovely? I don't know how many stitches I've used, I'm afraid. I've got a rug in my living room which is perfect lap blanket size. So when I'm doing a blanket or a crochet blanket, I will tend to chain the width or the length, the width of that rug. So this is as wide as the rug in the living room. Lovely. I think you can still get these spring ones. And I had the summer ones turn up. Oh, they're lovely. So I've only done that colour there, the first colour, and I'm now doing the second colour. Let me show them to you. I told you a dreadful lie last time as well. I told you that there was just enough in one of these to do a stripe, 2 stripes, and that was it, but there's not. I forgot. There is also enough to do a square. That's what's left over. These are all 20 grams as well. This is what is left over, and that is enough for me to do a square in my what's it called, jelly roll blanket. So that's where I'm putting all the leftovers. Yeah, so let's show you. So that is the first colour there, and then this is the one that I'm now doing. That's the second colour. Not very good light in here, is there? Have I missed a bit on my fringe? Oh, I'm always doing that. That's a big bit to miss, isn't it? Never mind. That's the third one. Rustling. Oh. That's the fourth one, I think. It is. That's the fourth one. It's got some lovely little speckles in it. And that's the fifth one. And I don't know which is my favourite. I said to Lizzie, look at all these, Liz. Now, if these were sweets, which one would you eat first? And she said she would eat that one first, but she thinks that one would taste the nicest. And I think I know what she means by that. See, that's making my mouth water, isn't it funny? Do you know what I mean? If you think of what they would taste like, oh, can you imagine them in a bag of sweets, like opal fruits? Opal fruits are back, by the way. Cool. I'd love to eat these. I'd love a bag of sweets. I might tell James to bring me some home on this. Well, not tell him, ask him nicely to bring me some back, and he will. So yeah, these are the Summer Solstice 2023 5 20-gram socks games. Pixie yarn, and here is a wonderful picture. I'd quite like to put that in a frame. So this is very nice to do. I'm watching Love Island, but I'm not really into it this year, but Lizzie absolutely loves it. So I tend to do this when I'm watching Love Island and read my book, actually. So there we are. That's all the colours so far. So I'll be adding another white stripe to this tonight, and maybe the next purple one, if I'm lucky. Lovely, isn't it? I'm just going to check my list. Did I tell you that it's the Cozy Stripe Blanket by Attic 24? Because that's what it is. 3mm hook. And I don't know how many stitches it is across. Oh, it's going to be lovely, isn't it? James likes this. He said to me, it looks like that person knows what they're doing. He's a funny old thing, isn't he? But they are lovely. I don't know which is I think my favourite is that one. This second green. Well, I think I like that one the best. I do like green. So does James. He wears a lot of green at the moment. Have I told you? He seems to just be buying green stuff. I don't know what's going on, but each to their own. Now I'm going to show you something now that I'm getting rid of. I'm not disposing of it. Oh, can I just go back to the Whitmore quickly? So I bought 5 balls of this, and I've got that left over, and these 2 that I used on the sleeves, but I'll use these to finish it off to make it longer. So that was like just under 4. Good, isn't it? Isn't it? Right, now I found this the other day in a pile of stuff, and I'm not going to continue with it. Oh, so it's just the loveliest wool, but I'm not going to make this shawl anymore. I can't even remember what the pattern was, but I was making a Shetland lace shawl, and I'm still going to make a Shetland lace shawl, but I'm not going to make this one. You see, you have to, I don't know what's called. This is what I've done. It's a big crease on it because it's been in this bag. This is what I've done so far, but you have to make this panel a lot bigger before you can get started with all the good stuff. So I'm going to get rid of this, and what do people say? I'm going to frog it. I don't get that. What does that mean? Where does that saying come from? What does that, where does that come from? Can someone tell me what that means? I can't work out where that would come from. Anyway, I'm going to take this off the needle. I'm going to do it now because it's going to be lovely to do. And I am going to make a Shetland lace shawl, but I'm not going to make this one because I want to get going with the lace, because I know that once I get going, that'll be it. I'll be away. Now this is lovely. This is pixie yarn again, and this is lace, and the colour, if I remember, I think I told you all it was called Peas Good last time. It's not. It's called Peas Blossom, and it is lovely. It's purple, pink, orange, green, cream. I think I've covered all the colours. It's lovely, but it's not, I need to get on with the lace, and that it takes so long because there's such, oh, I don't know, it's just not for me. I'm not a fan of things when they get bigger and bigger and you're doing the same thing the whole time. So this isn't for me, this pattern. So I'm going to get rid of it and I'll start another one, which is very exciting. I'm in the mood for starting a new shawl. I've found a pattern for a DK shawl. Maybe I'll cast that on this week. I'll just tell you about some other things I've been making. I think I've done the rib for my next Curious Handmade Sock Society socks. I've done the rib for those, but I'll show you those next time when I've got down to the pattern, because I'm not going to just show you a rib. And I've done a little bit on James's sock blanket. Yeah, so I think that's all of the knitting and stuff I'm going to show you today. Just trying to think if I've got any more headlines. Lillian's over there. Oh, I had a few questions last time. Well, a few people asked me if I was thinking about getting a second dog. If you've watched me before, you might know that I had 2 dogs. I had Lillian, who I've still got, and Dennis, who he died at the end of February, and he was Lillian's brother, her like full brother from a different litter. She's a little bit older than him. She's 11 and he was only 9. Well, I say only 9, but the vet said that that was a good age for a dog to get to, which made me feel a bit better. And they were always together, but it was him following her rather than her following him, but they'd sit together and look out the window and everything. And I don't think getting another dog at the moment is the right thing to do. I think she is quite content being a very spoilt only child at the moment. The only difference in her is walking. She's not she's very, very set in her ways now. I think it's because after Dennis went, I feel sorry for her when I say that name, her ears go like that. I just let her go wherever she wanted when we go on a walk. And now she is set in her ways. There are only certain places, and I have to pick her up and like put her down to get her going. She goes every day, but she will, like, if I want to go a different route to get some good grass for the guinea pigs, she will not do it. That's the only difference, but she seems happy. But she, I don't know. If I was going to get one, I'd get one in the spring. But I'm going to continue to monitor the situation, because I do like puppies in the spring, because I like to have the back door open so that they can learn about going to the toilet outside. I just can't see how I could make it work in the winter, because I don't want to have pads down and stuff like that. And I know it's the summer now, but I don't want one now. I would, I'd love one. But I'm not getting one. If I am going to get one, I'll get one next spring and see what's available at the time. And I know what I'll get as well. I'm going to get, for my next dog, I'm going to get a Tibetan Terrier, which is the size up from what Lillian is. All the same sort of stuff, but a bit bigger. But that's not going to be for a while. Unless I see one I like. No, I'm not going to get one. I'm not. I have seen one I do like, a black and white girl, but I'm not going to get one. Oh, Johnny and Meg have started a Dungeons and Dragons club, which meets here every week, and tonight is the night where they're going to descend again. They sit round this table, completely wreck the room. I don't know how close the version they play is to how it's supposed to be, but they have a nice time and they have a laugh, and I cook dinner for them. They have, I don't know how many people, how many are there? Johnny, Meg, five of them. Last week I did them all pizzas and garlic bread. It's brilliant, they eat the lot. I don't mind catering for a lot of people when they eat it all. And they've had a chilli. I don't know what to do tonight, but we'll see. But James is in charge of transport. I'm in charge of food, because I don't think any of the other mums are that keen for them to go around their house, but I don't mind them. They don't cause any trouble. So James is in charge of transport, and the 3 people who we give the lifts to live in the most obscure areas. It's a bit like the F1 calendar at the moment. So they've gone to Europe, then they went to Canada, then they're going back to Europe. Well, that's what James's journey is like, to take all these kids home. But they have a nice time. He doesn't, because he uses our car as a work van, so we had to empty it the other day. We had a saw in the hall, and then the kids couldn't fit past the saw, so we had to move the saw out. Oh, anyway. Oh, so I think that's it. I think that's all the headlines, all the news. I'll just see where Doug, yeah, Doug, oh, so embarrassing. He's in the middle of the driveway, sitting next to a puddle. At least he's not in the bin. 43 minutes, right, I'm going to hurry up. I thought that this would be quicker, but it's not. Right, so that's it today. If you're just here to find out about the making, I'm now going to tell you about my shop update, which is going to be Thursday the 22nd of June. So if you don't want to hear about that, then I will wish you well and see you next time. I talk a load of rubbish. Right, so let's have a look. I've got a lot of liberty this time, because that's what I fancied. I've made some mice. Come on, girls. So we've got, I've had to write their names down because I forget and they get really angry. They've all got little Liberty dresses on. So this is Maud. It's all right. This is Maureen. Stupid, aren't they? This is Millie. She's got tulips on her dress. Oh, what beautiful whiskers you've got. You've got lovely pink ears, haven't you? This one's Mary. She's got a lovely purple dress. And this one is Minnie, because you have to have a Minnie Mouse, don't you? If you're going to have mice, you have to have a Minnie. There she is. Now, I think, Minnie, you are wearing my favourite dress. If I was going to pick a dress... Oh, they're biting me. I like your dresses as well, but I just like Minnie's pink. Put my arm there again. Oh, I burnt myself on the iron yesterday. I tried to show Lizzie this morning. She said there's nothing there. Yeah, there. I was ironing and cooking at the same time, and I leant over and burnt myself to put the pasta in the pan. Yes, if I was to pick a dress, I would have that one out of all of them. Which one would you pick as a dress? I do quite like the tulips as well, though. But I don't think that colour would do a lot for me, the pale colour. So there we are, 5 little mice. 5 blind mice. 5... And I've got some bags as well. I won't show you them all. And I haven't put the drawstrings in them yet. That's my worst job. So I've got some sock bags with bows on. And very pretty, aren't they? I love this fabric. I just think that is lovely. Reminds me a little bit of the bottom of my... Look. Do you see what I mean? You probably don't. I just love that fabric. It's got a lovely big bow on the front. I love bows. I've got a big bow on the front of my wedding dress, and I used to make these bags with bows on, years ago. But there's a few different ones. I don't know. I won't show you them all, but they're all very pretty. Well, I like them anyway. A few more with bows. There's nice green as well. And then I've got some quilted ones. Some lovely quilted, these are all sock size, by the way, with a box bottom. And then I've got some with bunting on the front, which I love. I love bunting as well, bows and bunting. So there's some of the sock bags. And then the bigger ones, I've got, oh, I like this one. I'd quite like this for myself, actually. These are large size and they hold, I think, maximum capacity is 12 skeins, which is quite big, isn't it? But that is like full-blown capacity, can't move. So this one has got bunting on the front, a little bit of bunting on the back, all the different fabrics and some buttons. There's a couple of those ones. Lovely. There's some baskets as well, but I haven't bought that. Well, actually, I haven't finished constructing those, but there will be some baskets as well, some patchwork ones. And this is another large one, and this is a quilted one again. So if any of those tickle your fancy, they will be in my shop Thursday the 22nd of June at 6 p.m, and I've got a Ko-fi shop. I will put the link to it in the description box, which I forgot to do last time. Someone had to remind me. If you ordered one of my teddy bear clubs, my pandas, seaside pandas, if you live in the UK, they should all be arriving now, today, because I've been getting notifications to say that they've been delivered or they're on their way. And if you live not in the UK, they shall be arriving soon, I should think. I have tracking numbers for everything, but I don't put them in. I look it up if there's ever a problem, because and also the way Ko-fi do it, there's no facility to add a tracking number. So if ever you get any problems, just send me an email and I can look it up for you and then give you the tracking number. But like when I was on Etsy, you used to be able to mark as dispatched and then put a tracking number in, which takes ages. And then, but with Ko-fi, you've just got the option to mark as dispatched. Oh, 50 minutes. This was supposed to be shorter. Oh dear, it's not though, is it? Never mind. So that's what I've been up to, and I'll be back. I wonder how I'm going to get on with this and whether I'll stick to it. I'm not someone who keeps my word as a rule. I'm a little bit, how do we put it? I don't know. I can think of a word, but I'm not going to say it. We'll see, but I endeavour to be back next Tuesday to show you more. So I'm going to unravel that shawl, and then I'm going to do some more on my curious handmade socks, and then we'll go from there. See, today I've talked about 1, 2, 3 things. How do I normally manage to talk about like 8 things in an hour? Oh well. Right, everybody, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Toodle pip. Bye.